Khalistanis go on a rampage in Canada. Brampton temple attack. Surrey temple protest turns ugly. Canadian cops caught on camera attacking Hindu devotees. India strongly condemns the rampage on Hindu temples, demands Canada prosecute those behind violence, says will not be intimidated by harassment or violence. Maharashtra Alliance battle rebellion. Agadi warns against friendly fights. Uddhav Thackeray warns rebels of action if they do not withdraw nomination. State of war Jharkhand intensifies infiltration, the big flashpoint. Prime Minister Modi calls Congress allies anti-tribal, says land from infiltrators will be taken back.
ये आपकी रोटी भी छीन रहे हैं, ये आपकी बेटी भी छीन रहे हैं.
Indian Air Force plane crashes in Agra. Fighter jet goes up in flames after crashing during a routine sortie. Pilot ejects to safety. Court of inquiry ordered. Bus tragedy in Uttarakhand. 36 killed, 27 injured after bus falls into a deep gorge in Almora. Chief Minister Dhami meets injured. 24 hours to the US election finale. Immigration, race and gender shape the agenda. India Today reports from the heart of New York City. The latest news break coming in. Bypolls in Uttar Pradesh, Kerala and Punjab have been postponed. The EC has deferred the bypolls in 14 constituencies to November 20th. The Election Commission has rescheduled bypolls for festivities. The 14 constituencies affected are Palakkad in Kerala, Dera Baba Nanak Chabbewal, Gidharbaha and Barnala in Punjab, and Khair, Mirapur, Kundarki, Ghaziabad, Kadhal, Sishamau, Phulpur, Katehri and Majhavan in Uttar Pradesh. Samajwadi Party and the Aam Aadmi Party have hit out, claiming BJP afraid of a loss.
अभी खबर भी आई आज की उपचुनाव की तारीख 13 से 20 कर दी गई है. इसको आप कैसे
देखिए, ये भी चुनाव आयोग के भूमिका को सवालों के घेरे में लाता है. जब प्रधानमंत्री जी के उद्घाटन खत्म हो जाएंगे तो चुनाव की तारीखें घोषित होंगी. जब मंदिर का कार्यक्रम हो जाएगा तो चुनाव की तारीखें घोषित होंगी. तो ये कौन सी बात है भाई? चुनाव आयोग एक निष्पक्ष संस्था होनी चाहिए जिसका काम है चुनाव कराना, निष्पक्ष चुनाव संपन्न कराना. आप किसी पार्टी के इंटरेस्ट को देख के काम करेंगे वो ठीक नहीं है. आपने अयोध्या का चुनाव टाल दिया, आपने हरियाणा में चुनाव की तारीख बदल दी, अभी आपने चुनाव की तारीख बदल दी. यूपी में क्यों तारीख बदली? क्या कारण था इसका? कोई है जवाब इनके पास? कह रहे हैं ये त्यौहार वो त्यौहार है. भाई त्यौहार तो अभी दीपावली बीत गई, इसमें भी नॉमिनेशन हो रहा था. तो फिर आप ऐसे तर्क देते हैं.
क्यों किया होगा आपके हिसाब से? क्या मतलब रिक्वेस्ट भी क्यों किया इलेक्शन कमीशन से?
हार रहे होगे, बीजेपी हार रही है इसलिए उन्होंने कहा भाई थोड़ा बढ़ा दो, हम और अपना 3-5 कर लें. बीजेपी चुनाव हार रही है तो उस हार से बचने के लिए उन्होंने तारीखें बढ़वा दी.
Joining me right now is my colleague Samarth Srivastava with the very latest coming in. Samarth, the reason festivities, what's the political fallout?
Well, exactly, Preeti. Whatever happens in Uttar Pradesh does have the political fallout, and that's why it's worth mentioning here. Because it's not just the change of dates from 13th to 20th November. It's also about the politics, because now Samajwadi Party and the Congress Party, even the Aam Aadmi Party are taking on the BJP and saying that they requested the election commission for the change of date because they are in fear of losing the elections. While on the other hand, the BJP leaders are clearly saying that there are many festivals, including Chhath Puja, Ganga Snan, Kartik Purnima. All these festivals lies in that particular week between this particular 8th of November to between and 13th of November, and that's why they've requested the election commission for the change in dates. While the Samajwadi Party and the Congress Aam Aadmi Party all are saying that why the dates were not changed when the election commission had did the press conference and announced the dates for the proper Uttar Pradesh by elections. Thus, the BJP did not know about those festivals earlier, and what actually happened. The Samajwadi Party even saying that it's the internal survey of BJP which clearly says that they are losing in the bypolls, and that's why to use the state government machinery to strengthen the state government machinery against the opposition, they are playing this particular tactic so that they can get around 7 days more time. But also one more question is that whether the 7 days time would be enough for the BJP or the opposition to play their cards, because it's going to be worth mentioning earlier the elections were scheduled for 13th of November and now it has been postponed for just a week. So what could change in these 7 days, be it for the opposition or the BJP? It's going to be worth seeing, because opposition is saying that BJP is in fear, while the BJP is saying that the opposition has got some time to, in a way, increase the margin, to decrease the margin of their loss, because BJP is very confident if you talk about all 9 seats. Also, if you talk about the campaigning, Akhilesh Yadav is going to start the campaigning by tomorrow from Ghaziabad, while Yogi Adityanath is also scheduled to hold rallies after Jharkhand election. After his rallies in Jharkhand, he'll also focus on the bypolls. And at that time, we are getting the press release from the election commission, which clearly says that 1 week is that has been postponed, not just in Uttar Pradesh, but in also to other states. But for Uttar Pradesh, it has become a better politics for the opposition and as well as for the BJP. Back to you.
All right, Samarth, appreciate you joining us with that quick update. Let's quickly move forward from Uttar Pradesh, moving on to Karnataka, and heat now, where Chief Minister Siddaramaiah concerned, especially over the Muda scam. The Lokayukt has summoned the Chief Minister. Mysore Lokayukt police have issued a notice to the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in connection with the alleged Muda scam. The notice directs Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to appear for questioning at the Lokayukt office in Mysuru on November the 6th. Sagai Raj breaking this news on India Today. Sagai, get us up to speed with the latest.
What we get to learn through Lokayukta police is that they have issued a summons to Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, who is also the A1 in the scam of Muda. And they have summoned to appear in person on November 6th in Mysuru Lokayukta office. Remember, his wife was summoned last week, and much before that, it was A3 and A4. That is Mallikarjun Swamy, the brother-in-law of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, as well as the land seller Devraj, were summoned and questioned in this particular case. And A1 Siddaramaiah was left out in this particular case. And as we expected, post Deepavali, the Mysuru Lokayukta have issued a summons to Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and have asked him to appear. And reacting to this, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has confirmed that he'll be appearing in person on November 6th and will be answering all the questions in connection with alleged Muda scam.
All right, Sagai, thanks for joining us. We are back with more on that. A quick shift now to the latest news coming in terms of the
Presented by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat.
Co-presented by आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय ई-बाइक.
All right, let's quickly move on the infiltration battle which is heating up in the state of Jharkhand. Prime Minister slammed the JMM, Congress and the RJD on what he called appeasement by shielding infiltrators. All of this after Amit Shah and Soren were locked in a fierce battle on the same lines. Here's more.
Battle lines drawn in Jharkhand. The BJP, banking on Hindutva to topple the JMM-led ruling coalition in the state, has made fears about rising Muslim population and promise of uniform civil code its top election agenda. Addressing his first campaign rally in the tribal state, Prime Minister Narendra Modi accused Chief Minister Hemant Soren and his allies of shielding infiltrators in the state.
जब घुसपैठ का मामला कोर्ट में जाए और प्रशासन इससे इनकार करे तो पता चलता है कि सरकारी तंत्र में ही घुसपैठ हो चुकी है.
Earlier, Home Minister Amit Shah had claimed Soren sees infiltrators as his vote bank and held the JMM responsible for the decline in tribal population of Jharkhand.
घुसपैठियों को आपने पनाह दी, घुसपैठियों में आपको अपनी वोट बैंक दिखाई पड़ती, आप आपकी धुन में मस्त हो. इस राज्य में आदिवासियों की संख्या घुसपैठ के कारण घट रही है, डेमोग्राफी बदल रही है और न्यायालय जब आपको गुहार करता है तब भी आप डिनायल मोड में आ जाते हो.
Shah also promised implementation of a uniform civil code, keeping Adivasis out of it.
हेमंत बाबू, झारखंड में यूसीसी जरूर आएगा. हमारी सरकार झारखंड में यूसीसी लाएगी, मगर यूसीसी से आदिवासियों को पूर्णतया हम बाहर रखेंगे. कोई आदिवासी के अधिकार और कानून को यूसीसी से हम नहीं छेड़ेंगे.
The Jharkhand Chief Minister was quick to respond. Soren accused the BJP of a secret pact with Bangladesh in providing safe haven to former ruler Sheikh Hasina. The Chief Minister declared he will not implement uniform civil code in the state at any cost.
आज यहाँ आए ये लोग कहते हैं कि एनआरसी लागू करेंगे, यूसीसी लागू करेंगे. मैंने कहा यहाँ पर ना एनआरसी होगा ना यूसीसी होगा, यहाँ होगा तो सीएनटी होगा, एसपीटी होगा, पैसा कानून होगा.
JMM allies too lashed out at the BJP.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जो राजनीति है वो बांटो और राज करो, बांटो और चुनाव जीतो, तो वो उसमें लगे हुए हैं. हर तरह से उनकी कोशिश है और उनका प्रयास है. जितने भी ऐसी बातें हैं जिससे समाज में बंटवारा हो सकता है, उसकी कोशिश उनकी जारी है.
Election to the Jharkhand Assembly will take place in two phases on November 13 and 20. Votes will be counted on November 23rd. Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, Khalistanis have been on a rampage in Canada once again. Two Hindu temples in Brampton and Surrey were attacked, triggering wide outrage amidst already strained ties between India and Canada.
Khalistan supporters attacked Hindu devotees at temples in two cities of Canada. A group of Sikhs with Khalistani flags wielding sticks was seen entering the Hindu Sabha Mandir premises in Brampton on Sunday. Videos showed the assailants targeting devotees outside the temple where the Indian High Commission had organized a consular camp.
When the Khalistanis came to our temple, how dare they come to our temple and assault people in our temple? And the cops, instead of standing with the temple, instead of standing with us, they arrested our own people. So is this two-tier policing? Are the police there for everybody? Or are the police only there for the Khalistanis?
A similar attack unfolded at the Lakshmi Narayan Mandir in Surrey. Video showed Khalistani supporters raise anti-India slogans. The protesters later turned violent, targeting pro-India voices. There was high tension in Surrey as the police used force against the temple devotees and detained one or more Hindus from the compound, leading to protest by the community.
All the police officers hitting us. Everybody.
After the attack on the Hindu Sabha temple in Brampton by pro-Khalistan hardliners, the priest addressed a gathering and called for unity.
अब ये एक हमला कोई हिंदू सभा पर नहीं है, ये हमला पूरे वर्ष में दुनिया में जितने हिंदू हैं सबके ऊपर है। No peace, no! No justice, no! That's not right! That's not right! He's a king! He's a king! He's a king!
The temple trust called for a thorough investigation and demanded the sacking of a police officer who allegedly assaulted a young devotee.
That's wrong! That's wrong! That's wrong! That's wrong!
Temple committee requested to the police to reinforce more policing, and they also, asking the people to just be calm and peaceful. We strongly condemn such incidents that Hindu place of worship is being attacked, and inactive action from political leadership or administration.
The Ontario Sikh Gurdwara body condemned the attacks, calling for peace, unity and respect within the community. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau condemned the acts of violence and said everyone should feel safe in their place of worship. Canadian MP Chandra Arya stated that Khalistani extremists had crossed a red line and accused the Trudeau government of failing the Hindu community in Canada. The Indian High Commission posted photos from the consular camp held in Brampton, which were attended by a large number of Sikh community members. The High Commission said the Canadian authorities were informed about the camp well in advance in view of the security concerns. The statement added that other consular camps that are scheduled will depend on security provided by the Canadian government. Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, India Today's annual tradition of identifying and celebrating the best of the best continues with its annual high and mighty list. It is the ultimate list of achievers, politicians, bureaucrats, business heads, stars, entertainment stars, iconic emblems, sports legends. They're all there, of course. But in our 2024 version, we expanded to introduce two new categories: innovators and influencers.
Presenting the India Today High and Mighty List 2024. In our 21st year, India Today's High and Mighty rankings split the power list into 11 domains. It reflects a change in how we view power. In a year of general election 2024, it's no surprise who leads the leaderboard. In the category of politics, Narendra Modi won a third consecutive term, but with a reduced mandate. This subtly reshaped our political landscape. The saffron pantheon is still robust and plugged into the resources of power, but now confronts a keener challenge. The evolving dynamic is reflected in India Today's 2024 political power list. The top three stay on the podium: Prime Minister Modi, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, and Home Minister Amit Shah. Modi has now earned his third consecutive term in office, making him one of India's longest-serving leaders with an influence that extends well beyond his political role.
Narendra Damodar Das Modi.
Modi's tenure has been marked by both domestic and international shifts as he strengthens India's presence on the global stage and heralds a powerful economy on its way to the 4 trillion mark. Also holding firm on the political stage is Mohan Bhagwat, at number 2, the Sarsang Chalak of the RSS. His influence goes beyond politics into shaping ideological direction within India. And supporting the overall vision is Modi's second in command, Amit Shah, who's still India's second most powerful man. His imprint visible on everything that sustains the Modi enterprise on home turf. Yet down the list we see ripples of power radiating outward. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, as leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, has emerged as a sharp voice of censure, one who can even compel the Modi regime into making policy retractions. Among chief ministers, Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu emerged as kingmakers at number 5 and 6, drawing influence from the Modi government's dependence on them. At number 7 is Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, because as the longest serving Chief Minister ever of UP and still evidently unshakable after 7 years and 7 months, Yogi has entrenched himself in the upper echelons of the saffron pantheon. At number 8 and 9, MK Stalin and Mamata Banerjee reinforced their regional salience, thwarting the BJP's ingress on their turf. At number 10, Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav, who halved the BJP's Uttar Pradesh tally in the Lok Sabha election, confirming his tilt towards federalized power. Driven by competition, 2024 saw India's most powerful business leaders solidifying their empires by exploring new frontiers, leveraging artificial intelligence and fostering innovation to stay ahead of the curve. At number 1, Mukesh Ambani, chairman of Reliance Industries, remains at the top, showcasing the evolution of one of India's most iconic business empires. Ambani's RIL crossed the revenue milestone of 10 lakh crore this year, setting the stage for his ambitious AI initiatives and positioning the conglomerate as a deep tech powerhouse. His Jio platform continues to revolutionize telecom, while new partnerships in tech, like those with Microsoft, Google and Nvidia, are expanding RIL's reach into advanced digital infrastructure. At number 2 is the legacy multiplier Kumar Mangalam Birla, chairman of the Aditya Birla Group, who has carved his place through strategic growth. His empire, now worth 8.4 lakh crore, is expanding rapidly. At number 3 is Gautam Adani. A name synonymous with infrastructure, is also a top contender despite recent setbacks. At number 4 and number 5 are N. Chandrasekharan from Tata Sons and steel stalwart Sajjan Jindal. Both spearheaded the recent transformations of their companies. Sunil Bharti Mittal at number 6, the self-made entrepreneur, leader of the Bharti conglomerate, who recently became the largest shareholder of the UK's iconic British Telecom Group by acquiring a 24.5% stake for $4 billion. In for the long haul, staying resilient to meet future challenges, Indian businesses and their captains strive to secure their rightful place in the business world. For the complete power list of 2024 and deeper insights into India's most influential individuals, pick up the latest issue of India Today magazine, available on stands now.
जाओगे कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ। भगा कर ले जाऊंगा। सिक्योरिटी! भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको। हेलो, बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
एक हिंट तो देते?
हिंट?
बड़े आराम से।
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते। बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
जमाने से हटकर बेबाक है मेरा सिग्नेचर। सिग्नेचर फाइनेस्ट कार्डमम सीड्स, a premium product from Dilbar Group.
हो जा रंगीला रे with Motorola's incredible range of smartphones.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. PM Modi attacks India alliance before Jharkhand assembly elections, says JMM Congress and RJD has taken the policy of appeasement to an extreme level. Election Commission transfers Maharashtra DGP Rashmi Shukla amid opposition's phone tapping allegations. BJP leader BB Tyagi joins Aam Aadmi Party ahead of Delhi assembly polls.
Close fight on 75 seats. BJP, Congress set for mega showdown. The BJP and Congress headed for a straight fight on 75 of the 288 seats.
हम बहुत कोऑर्डिनेशन में काम कर रहे हैं। कुछ जगह पर अभी भी बागी है, लेकिन हमने ये तय कर लिया है कि जहां बागी है उनको पार्टी से निष्कासित किया जाएगा, पार्टी में रखा नहीं जाएगा।
The Saffron Party has fielded most of its candidates against Congress in Vidarbha, followed by Western Maharashtra, Northern Maharashtra, Marathwada and Konkan, including Mumbai and Thane. In 2019, the Congress and BJP were locked in a direct battle on 66 seats, of which it managed only 16, while the BJP got 50. Riding on Lok Sabha confidence, the Congress eyes a revival. Fresh off Haryana win, BJP hopes to leverage momentum. Battleground Maharashtra, an epic face-off.
Hello and welcome. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Lots going on in Maharashtra, where it comes down now to the BJP versus Congress fight on 75 seats. Not just that, The latest also coming in, enough rebels, independents in the fray. What is it looking like at this point of time? Let's cut across to Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, who'd be shortly dispatched off to his home state of Maharashtra to cover this election. Rajdeep, first up, the direct fights matter, especially between the BJP and the Congress, facing off on 75 seats. The importance and the implication of it, Rajdeep.
Preeti, it's huge. In a large state like Maharashtra, you have several battles within a battle. But there is no bigger battle than Congress versus BJP direct fights. Remember, a majority of these 75 face-to-face fights will come from Vidarbha. It has 62 seats. It was a traditional Congress bastion that was breached by the BJP first in 2014 when they won about 44 of the 62 seats, came down to 29. But the BJP with leaders like Devendra Fadnavis will believe that they have to get back Vidarbha to be in pole position to come back to power. On the other hand, the Congress will hope that what happened in the Lok Sabha, where they did very well in Vidarbha, will be repeated. The so-called DMK, Dalit Muslim Kunbi factor. Vidarbha, I think, Preeti, along with Marathwada, are the two regions that could well decide not just which becomes the single largest party, but who forms the government in Maharashtra. And therefore, these direct fights, which traditionally the BJP in recent times has done very well in, will really test these two national parties. This is a bit like Haryana, where you had a direct fight. In Maharashtra, it's not all across the state, but more specifically in Vidarbha and a sprinkling in other regions.
Rajdeep, one is, of course, these direct battles, especially where the Congress and the BJP facing off, because if you look at it, 2019, of the 66 direct fights between the BJP and the Congress could only manage 16 wins. They're hoping that the Lok Sabha momentum changes that. However, the BJP is hoping that the Haryana momentum they can leverage. But on the other side, Rajdeep, what about the game of independents and rebels? That's all we have heard through the course of today. Now, date of taking back your nomination is over, and yet, still, there are enough rebels and independents in the fray.
Look, I think both of them in the last 24 hours have been desperately trying to get back to ensure that many of the rebels that they have withdraw. From what I can see at the moment, they've both been reasonably successful. Clearly, there are enough independents out there who will contest, rebels who will contest as independents, who can spoil the chances of the key players. But I think the rebel factor is much more in the Mumbai, Konkan belt in and afflicting not just these two main parties, but all parties. You're seeing it in the Shiv Sena, you're seeing it in the Uddhav Sena. I think Sharad Pawar, if I were to say, is the one leader who's been able to be most effective in neutralizing any rebel factor. All the other rebels, all the other parties have struggled to deal with rebels. But eventually, Preeti, because it's an election where 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 votes could make a difference, managing not just rebels but smaller parties could make a difference. In Vidarbha, for example, the Vanchit Bahujan Agadi of Prakash Ambedkar, if it picks up 5-6% of the vote, they got less than 1% in Lok Sabha, they can make a difference in these tightly contested seats. So I think it is not just about the rebels, but it's about managing the overall environment in Maharashtra that's important. It's not about Mahal. This is about management now.
Not so much about Mahal, but management, and who manages this election better. Well, we'll soon find out. Thank you, Rajdeep, for joining us. We'll see you in Maharashtra. With that, let's cut across to our political panelists this evening. Tuhin Sinha, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party. Matthew Antony, Spokesperson, Congress. He'll be joining us shortly. Amitabh Tiwari, Election Analyst. Amitabh, coming to you first. 75 seats where the BJP squares off with the Congress. What, according to you, could be the implication and the importance of these 75 seats, keeping in mind, Amitabh, that in 2019 of the 66 seats, the BJP facing off with the Congress could only manage 16.
Yeah, however, if you see that 2024 Lok Sabha elections, there were 90 seats where BJP and Congress fought against each other. And Congress won 52 and BJP 38. So that's the latest base, you can say. Now, out of these 75 seats, 35 seats are being fought in Vidarbha. So see, the state has 6 zones and you can broadly divide them into 2 zones. One is economically backward zone, which is your Vidarbha, Marathwada and large parts of North Maharashtra. They account for half of the seats. And one is a relatively well-developed economic zones, which are Mumbai, Thane, Konkan and Western Maharashtra, which again has almost half of the seats. Now with BJP and Congress contesting on 35 seats in Vidarbha, which is the hotbed of farmer suicides, agri-distress and rural distress, the Congress would hope that these issues would resonate with the voters. However, BJP hopes that the Ladki Bahin Yojana and some of the doles which have been given to the youth with the apprenticeships program and the unemployment allowance, etc., somehow neutralize some of this discontent. The two parties are largely on their own in Vidarbha because the Shiv Sena and the NCP undivided do not have significant presence there. So that is where the two captains of the team, you can say, who are contesting on the highest number of seats against each other and in their respective alliances, are going to fight against each other. And that is where the destiny of this election could well be written.
All right. Tuhin Sinha, what Amitabh Tiwari just said, it's not 2019 as much. Now look at the 2024 Lok Sabha conundrum. And that makes it advantage Congress, though you'd want to hark back and hope that what happened in 29 sustains and you ride on the momentum of Haryana coming into Maharashtra.
Well, good evening, Preeti. Good evening, everybody. The perception on the ground today is that Congress over-promises and under-delivers. And that has only been corroborated by the video of Kharge ji, who's actually telling his party workers not to over-promise in Maharashtra. So I think, Congress today is facing a credibility crisis, which gives us a very big edge on the ground. Every day in the last 3 months, ever since the announcement of the social welfare schemes, particularly the Ladli Bahin Yojana, situation on the ground has been changing. In fact, Vidarbha has significant number of Ladli Bahin Yojana beneficiaries. That would be a deciding factor. But also, the larger point is about our credibility. We have announced social welfare schemes to the tune of 96,000 crores in the last few months, and yet we manage all that better. Maharashtra is the number one FDI state in the country. If you go by FY, first quarter of FY25, we have announced a 10,000 crore steel plant in the heart of Gadchiroli, which was infested with Naxals until a few years back. The Vadhavan port in northern Maharashtra is another game changer. So, I think the ability to deliver on the ground is clearly what differentiates us. I will give you one indicator which will tell you how disgruntled and how flustered the Agadi today is. In the last 3 or 4 days, all they have been doing is running to the election commission with some complaint or the other. Today they have managed to get Rashmi Shukla, one of the best performing DGPs of Maharashtra, transferred. But, they don't have the courtesy to at least say that the EC is fair. The EC went by the points raised by them. In the last 3 days, Uddhav Thackeray has been cribbing of all things about lighting and fireworks in Shivaji Park, which once used to be the hub of, Shiv Sena. So this shows the level of frustration of the Agadi today. And obviously, they will blame the EVM on the day of the election results.
Matthew Anthony is also with us from the Congress. Matthew Anthony, the fact is, you might want to look back at what happened in 2024, and Amitabh Tiwari is very right, because that could very well be the new blueprint and that would put you on an advantage. But you also then have the same blueprint of Haryana and you know how horribly wrong you went. Why would Maharashtra be different? Because now the Bharatiya Janata Party, especially on these 75 seats, which could decide the election, is walking in with that much more confidence.
Preeti, the Haryana path we have looked into as a party and we have made the necessary changes which is required within the party's decision making on that one. Whereas the BJP spokesperson mentioned about the achievements, I would like to ask a few questions.
Right. Matthew Anthony, can I just come in? Because, sir, I'm sorry, I know I'm cutting you short, but I'll just come in because many are still waiting. What are those changes that you've factored in? What changes has Congress made after the debacle of Haryana?
So if you look into the Congress parties and the MVA's seat sharing, it has its discussions because every party was aspiring to have more number of seats and more number of candidates. However, we have had an amicable settlement, and after the day of the nomination withdrawal, you can see there are only very few instances which can be figured out against MVA, whereas a lot of the rebels has been settled down in the state of Maharashtra. Now, coming back to the other issues which is said, I would like to ask the BJP that the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative has said that 2.25 crores of people of Maharashtra is living in multidimensional poverty. 8,000 farmers have committed suicide till 2023, 566 till now in the district of Amravati in 2024. 815 crores from the NCDC, National Cooperative Development Corporation. A loan has been given with the Maharashtra state government with the ruling for something or the other. Now, you also see that 800 crores has also been given for beautification of Mumbai city, which has all been given without tenders to a large part of the people. Now, a lot of industries from Maharashtra and Mumbai has been taken out. The gift city was given to Gujarat, whereas, it is not given to Mumbai, which is the largest financial capital of the country. Now, where are these kind of, the law and order of the state is completely collapsed. 4 lawmakers have used firearms, and 2 former lawmakers have been killed, and 1 from the ruling alliance. Baba Siddiqui was shot broad in daylight. A ruling alliance party member. Such a kind of situation is existing in Maharashtra. Okay. What gives BJP and the Mahayuti a confidence? Because the local Maharashtrian people are really looking to kind of give a reply for backstabbing 2 local parties by the BJP.
But Matthew Anthony, I'll come back to you because the fact is, what I asked you was what changes were affected maybe in Haryana to learn a lesson, but that aside, but the fact, many of the voters who actually support the Congress will come out and say that you have factored in and you have chronicled everything that possibly is wrong in the state of Maharashtra, nothing that is right in the Congress to take on and leverage what you see is going wrong. Anyway, I'm going to come right back. I'm going to come right back on that question. Mr. Anthony, I'm coming right back on the question and I'll give you a chance to answer it. I want to bring in Amitabh Tiwari back. Amitabh Tiwari, one, of course, is going to be the direct fights, especially in Vidarbha, Marathwada, where the BJP faces off with the Congress. The other one, where everybody is watching very keenly, Amitabh, is the fact of independents and rebels. The last day of taking back nominations is over, Amitabh, which was the 4th. Now what? Because there are some that have been settled. There are many still in the fray. Therefore, as what many say, it's not about anything else but management. Who can manage this election better, Amitabh?
Yeah, so essentially some 11,000 people had filed nominations, 3,000 have withdrawn, and almost 2,000 were rejected. So there are still, as of now, 6,000 candidates in fray, which means 20 plus candidates per seat. This comparative number was 11 per seat in 2019. So that's the high number of individuals, smaller parties, independents and rebels which are contesting. Now, Maharashtra always has had a tradition of voting for smaller parties and independents, around 25% vote share and 25 to 30 seats. In a scenario where we are seeing that on a national level and in many states, a bipolarization of politics, wherein Congress and BJP or India bloc and the NDA bloc are becoming the 2 important poles. However, as you said, in these seats, it's not about winning. Many of the parties are contesting to defeat one of the 2 blocs or show their importance. So what will happen is that each vote which these candidates bag will be damaging either of the parties in different seats. It will not be a uniform sort of a trend. So both the parties will get damaged. There is a higher number of rebels, as you are showing on the screen, in Mahayuti versus the MVA. MVA seems to have sorted the rebel issue a bit well compared to Mahayuti, because Mahayuti is obviously in power, and that's why we are seeing a high number of rebels, and these could in turn decide the course of the elections, as we've seen in Haryana, and they could be the kingmakers in many seats, not winning, but spoiling the chance of either of the blocs to win that seat.
And Tuhin Sinha, that brings me to the question, we'll put those graphics out again, because yes, there are direct fights, but then there is also managing rebels and managing independents. What the Congress could not do or failed to do because of bluster in Haryana, this time around, the Aghadi seems to have done it better than the Mahayuti. At least the numbers say so in terms of settling and making rebels and independents sit?
Well, even our rebels have withdrawn from the contest, so I don't think that will be a very big factor. BJP, at the end of the day, is a family, and it is connected because of ideological reasons more than the entire Agadi, which is there only for opportunistic reasons. My friend from the Congress party was talking about law and order situation. It's so rich of this Agadi government, which presided over the worst Vasuli government in Maharashtra. If I remind you, a gelatin stick was placed under the building of Ambani for extortion purposes. And the person from whose garage that car was procured, he eventually died. He was murdered 1 month later, Hiren Mansukh. And, in fact, the NIA team had indicted 2 officers, one of whom was Sachin Waze, one of the closest aides of Uddhav Thackeray. And they have the gall, they have the audacity to talk about law and order. So, people of Maharashtra have seen how they performed in the 2.5 years when they were in government, how we had a stay-at-home chief minister who would never be available to his own people, the very reason why a part of his party had to break away. And mind you, I'm sticking my neck out today. Because the media has failed to get most of the elections right in the last 1 year. I'm saying it with a lot of conviction that the mood on the ground had changed a month or 2 back. Today, we are heading towards, something like 170 to 180 seat. It could be higher.
All right, 170 to 180 seats, it could be higher. Well, that's a high count. But Mr. Antony, let me flip that question, for you, where you look at rebels. Yes, you've been able to, make the rebels sit down. The mahal, you say, is in your favor. Tuhin Sinha says, mahal badal gaya hai. But Mr. Antony, it's less about mahal and more about management, sir. And management, the BJP has done it better.
Preeti, I don't want to comment on the number of seats which BJP is claiming. Let's wait till the 23rd of November to see who's going to rule the state of Maharashtra. It is so deplorable to see the BJP spokesperson saying about Sachin Vaz. When he acted, Sachin Vaz acted independently on his own, and he has only stories to say. I have got factual information of Baba Siddiqui being shot dead of an alliance partner from the BJP and the Mahayuti government, from a gangster who is hiding in Gujarat jail, protected in Gujarat jail, and you have Nawab Malik, who's been kind of alleged to have links with Dawood Ibrahim gang, contesting under the Mahayuti. It is so shameful for the BJP person to speak like this without having any substantial proof or evidence against anybody, for that matter, just by a police officer acting independently on his own. We don't own up, the police officers. We said, no, let the law take its course. Is the courage there in the BJP to say that, let the law take its own course, when there is somebody who's claiming
it is not about that. We're talking about who will manage this election better. What is it that the Maha Vikas Agadi has?
I was giving a rebuttal to Heen.
Make your point.
Then now I'm making the point that you have seen that, from the Haryana's lessons which we have learned, we have managed the rebels much better than the Haryana this time. So you will see the management, that it is not something for us to discuss about the management and the strategy in the national media. You will wait and see on the 23rd of this month on how we are managing this election and how we are winning this election in the 2024 Maharashtra Assembly, where Maha Vikas Agadi will be forming the government and ruling the state of Maharashtra for the people of Maharashtra. And we don't want the GDP of Maharashtra to go down from 15.2 to a 13.3. We want the state of Maharashtra to grow. And it is all the developments in the state of Maharashtra, starting from the airports, from the Rajiv Gandhi ceiling. Everything has started during the Congress time. BJP has only changed the names. Nothing is there to their credit. That's exactly what they have done. And they have done inauguration of half-completed, partially completed projects, which is creating a lot of accidents and other things also. So let us see, let the people of Maharashtra vote to their conscience. And if they vote to their conscience, it is the MVA which is going to form the government in 2024 November.
All right. Well, let's not question the conscience. Even if somebody's conscience wants to vote for the Mahayuti, the conscience could be in place, Mr. Antony. It's about who they choose. But Amitabh Tiwari, okay, Tuhin Sinha, you want to rebuttal quickly, sir? Make your point.
I just wanted to point out, this shows how nervous the Agadi is. They're already saying, if people vote through their conscience, are they already saying that people are unscrupulous when they vote for the BJP?
Okay.
I mean, this is the attitude of the
Okay, Mr. Antony, please respond to that.
Because the state has got its own issues for the people to understand why they should vote for the MVA.
They are already running to the election commission with all kinds of frivolous complaints, and now
allow him to
they
answer.
won't expect
Allow
people
him to
to vote
answer.
through their
Mr.
conscience.
Anthony,
Ashish Shelar, do you have an answer to say that Ashish Shelar has not disclosed his real estate company and sports company in his election affidavit, in his nomination? We questioned it. And we are going to take it up to the court. Ashish Shelar, who is a Bandra West MLA, as well as, the Mumbai.
You're most free to take it up to the court.
I'm going to bring in, for a final word, I want to bring in Amitabh Tiwari. Amitabh Tiwari, it's going to be a question that at least on this show you'd be asked multiple times because things change very, very quickly and it's still a long way to go to the 20th of November. But the three X factors that you're looking at that could define this election.
See, one is, of course, the Ladki Bahin Yojana is an X factor because we've seen in other states that cash transfer schemes do tend to tilt the vote in favor of the incumbent government. The next will be micromanagement because it's not only about rebel candidates. On each seat, there are three contenders, both from MVA and Mahayuti, and two people have not got tickets. So there will be internal sabotage, and vote transfer from one partner to another partner is going to be key. Whichever party does the best vote transfer without minimum leakages could have an upper hand. And the third, of course, will be the performance of other smaller parties, independents and rebels, and which parties or alliances they damage more on an overall or a net basis.
Well, Tuhin Sinha, on the issue of vote transfer, the Mahayuti got burnt where the Ajit Pawar NCP was concerned because the vote transfer didn't happen as expected.
No, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections were an exception. They managed to spread the canard that the constitution was in danger, and one lie, they will not be able to succeed with that lie again. We have a brilliant, cohesive, alliance, and the vote transfer will very much happen this time. There is complete clarity in our manifesto. In fact, we had a press conference where all the three top leaders of the alliance addressed the achievements of the government, which is something
the vote transfer where the NCP Sharad Pawar faction actually leveraged on the Samvidhan Khatre mein hai narrative. It's actually leveraged on the fact that many thought this was an inorganic alliance.
No, that was an exception. Like I said, whatever the vote transfer did not take place then. But this time is very different. Till the end, they had so many differences in their alliance that their alliance partners, Nana Patel, would not even talk to Uddhav camp.
Okay.
So
Mr. Anthony, let me ask you the same question. The vote transfers might have been better where the Mahayuti was concerned. But that entire sympathy factor, which you thought you would leverage with the Uddhav Sena, didn't quite happen if you're looking at Lok Sabha as the benchmark. Eknath Shinde did very, very well.
Preeti, let me answer. It is this, that in the Lok Sabha election, yes, our major narrative was that, the constitution is in danger and, we stand by it. In the Maharashtra elections, our narrative is that, do you want to choose somebody who has backstabbed two regional parties? And it is working. And the Maharashtrian Asmita, the Marathi Asmita is being really affected and which has been insulted by the BJP, which is coming into the forefront to the election vote-making decision to a large extent. And that is where the vote transfers is very critical and very important for us. And it is, we are working on it and it will definitely happen during the state elections also.
All right, the Marathi Asmita, usually it's, 6 regions and it's 6 regional elections fought where Maharashtra is concerned. Can you bundle it up under the umbrella of Marathi Asmita? Amitabh Tiwari could answer the question better as he is from Maharashtra, or at least looks at Maharashtra very, very closely. But we don't have the time, but we're going to pick it up on the next debate. Thank you for joining us. Up next is Rahul Kanwal tracking. There's another election, viewers, far from home, and that is the American election. That's coming up next.
जाओगी कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ। भगा कर ले जाऊंगा। सिक्योरिटी! भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको! हेलो! बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
एक हिंट तो देते?
हिंट?
बड़े आराम से।
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते। बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
जमाने से हटकर बेबाक है मेरा सिग्नेचर. Signature finest cardamom seeds, a premium product from Dilbar Group.